Hey everyone, I think I'm live. Welcome to another episode of Trading Bitcoin with your host Tone Vays. Willy should be up here in a minute. I was waiting for Willy, but I know it's getting late, especially in New York. People are probably still recovering from drinking during the Super Bowl, and wanted to bring you this video. At least half the world is still awake. Australia is up, Asia is up, sorry, Europe, but the US should still be up, somewhat functioning. So maybe we have some people from New York as well, from the East Coast, I guess. I mean, not single out New York. Willy should be up here in a second. We're now streaming during the day. You can see all the kite surfers behind me. One of them was Willy this morning, and it's going to be Willy again in a little bit. Hope the audio is good. Hope the video is good. Our internet should be more stable today. And the challenge will be watching the screen because it's really, really bright. And this is more of a Q&A show because we forgot to do your Q&A yesterday on yesterday's stream with Willy. So we'll try to answer some of your questions today if I can see them. Okay. Okay, maybe I'll just use my cell phone under the table here to look at questions. It will be mostly questions for Willy, and I will be asking him. I'm going to take a look at the charts before Willy walks in, and then we go from there. But throw your questions in. That would be great. If they're tipped questions, they get prioritized. That's kind of how we do. Let me, all right, let me go to the charts. We're also working with one monitor, so it's hard to see to share screen and look at your questions at the same time. I see Willy coming through the door. He should be here any minute. All right, let's go to the charts. Had a little bit of a pop early today. Hey, Willy, I'm already live streaming, so don't worry, no rush. You're good. I know you also want to get Ben on the water as well. Okay, so let's take a look if that pop was meaningful. This is the 4-hour chart. There's Willy. We went all the way up. We made a new swing high, and we've already come back down. All right, you good?
Yeah.
All right. So the 4-hour chart isn't, sorry, this is a daily chart. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. Let's see if that pop on a 4-hour chart was any good, and then we're gonna look at Q&A.
Change Wi-Fi.
How much time do you have before you want to go kite surfing again?
Oh, about an hour, I guess.
All right, Willy has at most an hour. The battery may not last that long, so or maybe it will.
Is this flat?
No, that's not flat, but I don't want to start charging it yet until I'm 50% down.
Oh, yeah.
That's a nice spike. It doesn't really say anything to me. This is the 4-hour chart. Does it say anything to you, Willy?
Well, it got rejected pretty hard.
I don't see any main reason for that rejection, at least on a 4-hour chart. I can jump down to the 10-minute chart.
It looked kind of like
oh, look at that. There's a 9. This was not pre-planned.
Two-way.
You can see the sequential 9 on a 10-minute chart. I actually like the 10-minute chart. My friend Joe loves the 15-minute chart. I love the 10-minute chart. 10-minute chart, beautiful 9, rejection. Let's see the 15-minute chart. Sometimes they're in line. The 15-minute chart probably did not give you a 9. No, it didn't. The 15-minute chart gave you a 9 buy. The 10-minute chart gave you a 9 sell. All right, anything you want to look at, Willy, or should I just like start grabbing some Q&A for you?
Yeah, Q&A.
Q&A, let's do Q&A. Oh,
just see.
what did I just drop?
Did you tweet this?
I did tweet it. Yes, you are tagged.
Mentions.
Let me not beat up my new cell phone. Before I go to Q&A, hey guys, quick plugs. If you want to support this YouTube channel, please check out the affiliate page of tonevays.com. LVL is a company Willy is involved in one way or another, and that's an affiliate code. Embly is a debit card. You guys get the point. Derivative trading, if you are ready for that and you've studied and you've educated yourself and stuff like that. Willy is also joining us at Unconfiscatable. in Las Vegas. Please sign up. Tickets are finally starting to go fast. He's also joining us at the Financial Summit. I really hope the wind will save my laptop from overheating. And hopefully we can get Willy to understanding Bitcoin and Malta as well. I'll keep working on him for that. Okay. Q&A. Stopping screen share so you guys can see the beautiful scenery. Go into my cell phone and let's see if there's any good questions.
Cool. Just tweeted that out.
All right. Willy tweeted it out. Let me go. Oh, we have I have the live chat here.
Oh, yeah,
You can
great.
turn up the brightness. Tipped questions get priority. We have a tipped question from Brian. Yep, that's the first tipped question. That's where we're going to start. After Bitcoin having hype and sell-off, well, you're assuming a sell-off. We'll see what Willy thinks. What price do you feel Bitcoin will fall back to? Love the Willy Tone Vays streams. If Willy could give a price, yes, you don't give price, but try, and Tone price. So what do you think? Do you think there'll be a sell-off after the halving, and where do you think it might go?
Well, it's happened every other time, so I wouldn't be surprised if it happens again. I'm trying to pull up a chart here because I looked at it a while back, and I'm not usually interested in price. I'm looking at, I guess you can work it back to price. I'm just going to my site.
All right, so while Willy's pulling up the chart, I'll give you guys my take. Look, it really depends on when the Bitcoin price will top in anticipation of the halving, okay? It's possible that the halving hype came very early in 2019, and we had that 14K blow off top as the main top pre-halving. It's possible that we are about to kick off one more pre-halving bubble top hype. The question is, when will it top? If it tops a few months before the halving, we can have a significant pullback before the halving, and then after the halving, we just start to rise. But if this halving hype mini bubble goes in through the halving, then the pullback will take place after the halving. I think it's a little too early to assume anything about the price during the halving until we're about a month away from the halving. I think it's still enough time to have two run-up hype cycles because of the halving in anticipation of the halving. So I think the question is just a little too early to ask, but you want to ask this question probably at the end of March is when you want to ask it.
I'm going to send you this.
And Willy's going to send me a chart now. We'll try to pull that up.
This is actually a public chart on my site.
Can I just pull it up from your site?
Oh, yeah, if you want.
I'm on your site.
Okay, go to price models. Is that streaming off this screen?
I'm not sharing yet, but let me share it.
Gosh, is
right,
this as bright as the screen goes?
No, but I'll kill my battery. That now it's as bright as the screen goes, yes.
Man, this is a hot laptop.
It's a hot laptop. It's a little bit of a concern. If the computer overheats, we'll have to move the table into the shade, and then we'll kick off the stream one more time.
Even the touchpad, it's glass, you know. All right. So, I don't know if you guys can see that, but I've marked the halvings in red dotted lines there. And, you know, the first halvening back in 2012, we didn't actually see any kind of drop. It went sideways and it just carried on up. It was the last halvening that we had the sell-off. So that's kind of 50-50, really. Everyone's expecting this. I know that this is like 4 years ago and it's 8 years to the last one. It's kind of like, I mean, just looking at it now, it's like, for a while, everyone thought altcoins amplified Bitcoins in bulls and bears, and that's not actually the case. So look at the data here, two prior halvenings, one was not impacted, and the other one, it did drop. So I don't know if there's much to say here about it's definitely going to behave like this. There's a red line in this chart, and that shows you the VWAP price, roughly what the market has paid. I don't know. I think that if you just look at the VWAP price, I don't think it will go below it. And currently it's, what is it?
A little bit above.
Well, it's definitely not going to go below there from where we are at around the 9,000s. You know, I'd expect that VWAP price to climb somewhat in the next 3 months. And that would be a lower bound for me, a very conservative lower bound. But I'm not sure. I don't think you can do a price target like this so far out. So I kind of agree with Toad.
Yeah, so going back with the last two halvings, the first one, I mean, no one really knew what to expect, and the price just started to rally right after the halving. I think that had more to do with just Bitcoin starting to get adopted and starting to becoming mainstream than it had anything to do with the halving. The second one, there was certainly hype that helped raise the price of Bitcoin that topped out a few months, like a month before the halving, and then we continued to pull back. So this time around, you got to wait another month or two, and then we can revisit the question. All right, let's get back to, I'm going to stop the screen share, and let's go back to more Q&A. There was another tip question. This one from Andrew. Thank you, Andrew, for the support. Have you guys noticed that Bitcoin market value has been converging towards SF regression line?
Stock to flow.
Stock to flow regression line. Okay. Medium dot. Oh, he gave us a link. Yeah. Do we want to pull that up, or do we even need to?
Yeah, pull it up. I don't want to see. I want to see the chart.
Okay. I got the link, and all right, let's go over to here. We paste that in, and then I'll do screen share again. All right, that's pulling it up. The back of the laptop seems to be okay.
Yeah, because it's not, the sun's not hitting it. Okay.
Hold on, let me, I'm not screen sharing this yet. What do you think about the whole stock to flow analysis and models? Everyone keeps asking me, and I kind of somewhat dodged the question.
I've said it before, like stock to flow is a supply model and market price is set by demand and supply. I think that, you know, this is very long ranging, macro, like you're looking back over 10 to 11 years of history. And, you know, the best modeling we have for the adoption of Bitcoin is kind of like a 2x per year. It's been relatively consistent. So I think stock to flow currently works because the demand side has been quite steady. And when you have a steady demand and a modeled supply, you get this model that works. That probably the hidden side of that model that's not being shown is that the demand is relatively steady over this sort of 10-year phase. Obviously not inside these bulls and bears. But, you know, if you were to take stock to flow, stock to flow, if you want to think of it in simple terms, is upside down inflation rate. You just flip that chart, put it upside down, that's stock to flow. So eventually, you get to the zero inflation, which is Bitcoin's stock to flow goes to infinite. And so obviously that cannot happen. So the model breaks down, and it works now because we're in that steady part of the adoption S-curve, definitely under 50%. Probably will carry on till around that, maybe 50% of the world adoption, and then it'll start to break down, is my opinion.
Yeah, I think a lot of these models are set to break down, especially when people do these regression lines, these like, it's like, it looks like this, like kind of anchoring the Bitcoin. I don't really know how to pull one up. And I don't like those because they always use revisionist history. If Bitcoin goes outside of the bands, they'll just adjust historically, which is the same reason why I hate Elliott waves.
Right.
So I'm not a big fan of these models. And I do think that sooner or later, the stock to flow predicting the price of Bitcoin will also break down.
So he's saying it's converging. So I'm trying to figure out which chart he's looking at in there. I mean, this bit, is that the convergence lines?
All right, I'm looking at my phone to see the live chat better. All right, we have another tipped question. Thank you, Alex. Bitcoin peaked 12 months after first halving and 18 months after the second halving. Is it safe to say next Bitcoin top is 18 to 24 months after the halving?
I'm going to get to that soon. I want to just finish
Okay,
this.
go
I
ahead.
think the question was, do we notice that this sort of plot here is converging? Well, you get this because in the early days, the volatility of Bitcoin's price is very, very high. It used to be about 100% volatility over a 60-day period, which is insane. And now we're getting more and more sort of stable. And so you'll see these charts start to get less variant across its norm. That's just Bitcoin getting bigger and more stable.
All right, that's well said. Okay, so what do you think? The next, is it safe to anticipate the next all-time high 18 to 24 months after the halving? Since I have my monthly chart here, I just want to zoom out. This was my original, oops, I'm zooming in. Should be zooming out. Damn, this mouse pad is hot as hell.
Yeah, the glass is picking up the heat.
So my initial anticipation, my finger's actually burning.
You need some paper, actually, is what you want.
You can do this.
I've got it figured out. When you're not using it, we'll put that over.
Oh, yeah, that will help. So this is what I was looking at before. So I was I have a mouse.
Oh,
I was which is also burning. So I was anticipating new all-time highs to come around October 22. So that puts us, if the halving comes in, so this is 10/22, the halving is coming in 5/20/20. So yeah, I put us at about 2 years later.
Yeah, this is how I think about it. You've got a market here that gets an impulse from the halvening, and so I think of it like you're sitting in a bathtub, and it's sloshing around, and every 4 years, well, in a bathtub it's going to be quicker, obviously. You give it a shove, and what you get is a sort of resonance and slosh in the bathtub, and that's why Bitcoin's bull bear cycles are on this 4-year kind of time cycle, give or take a few months. So like the shove is every halvening. And so I think it's fair to say that if you take the time variance from the peak to the halvening, it's going to be give or take a few months, I think, if that theory is right. I'm pretty sure that's correct. Yeah.
All right, we have a slightly different question. Can you explain the Bitcoin node requirements? I have enough to download and run one from my machine, but will it slow it down as I trade it also? I would like to support the network. I will quickly answer. While the current laptop that I'm using, as I travel around, this laptop is now over a year old. And it's been running me well. It's a $2,300 Lenovo Yoga X1, and it has 1 terabyte of hard drive space. And I've been downloading the Bitcoin history as I travel around, but I'm not actively running a node on it because it does take up resources. But the next time I buy a new laptop, this laptop becomes the node because I have a really old laptop, like a $300 laptop from like 8 years old, currently running my node. So I personally don't like to constantly run a node as I travel around. I do feel that it takes up resources. Just buy another laptop and support the network by just dedicating one laptop to that node that stays in one place, doesn't move. Your thoughts, Willy?
I have no thoughts. I haven't messed around with nodes.
Willy's all about Willy's all about making money and trading.
No, there's that.
You gotta support the network,
I'm
Willy.
about convenience, and I think that probably the biggest importance for Bitcoin is to make it easy for everyday people, and that's why I like Exodus. It's not full node, obviously, but it's decentralized. You have custody of your private key, and you're pretty much outsourcing the node. You got to be a hardcore Bitcoiner to be running a full node wallet, and you want, if you're into privacy, you probably want that. But for me, I like not wasting my time with too much technical stuff because there's people that do that better than I do.
Yeah, well, come to understanding Bitcoin. That's where we teach people how to set up their nodes and their Lightning nodes. And speaking of Lightning, we have a question. Hey, Willy, what are you going to do for a job? Like Willy has a job. Willy, what are you going to do for a job after we are all using Lightning? Thoughts on how your work adopts with Lightning adoption over time?
Is that dropping in that there'll be no signal on chain? Or I mean,
I'm not sure. I mean, you're an early stage investor as well. I mean, that's your main job.
I'm kind of known to have said, maybe not so well, but I'll probably leave Bitcoin when it becomes mainstream, because I like, you know,
I'm with you on that.
I like living in the future. I like being involved with projects that have potential but is bleeding edge. So that used to be mobile phones before we had smartphones. And now it's Bitcoin before it's gone mainstream. So I'll probably go back to startups. I'll go back to startups for a job.
Oh, Leah says hi, by the way. We have Leah in the chat.
Leah Wald? Yeah, cool. See you in a couple of weeks. No, 1 week.
Yeah, Leah, we'll see you in a week. All right, let's see what else we got. What do you guys think of proof of stake blockchains, DeFi, as a potential new driving force for another crypto bubble, major new public interest aside from Bitcoin, natural cycle growth? I'll let Willy go first on this one.
I don't know why proof of stake was mentioned. Is that because it uses less power, or is it because it's faster and more scalable, or what's the reason for?
They didn't give a reason. They want us to give a reason.
Okay, so I'm really bearish in DeFi as the way it's been mentioned here. I think DeFi is overhyped on blockchains, that we will do DeFi through trustless smart contracts with everyone seeing the contract and trusting these networks. I think that blockchains are plumbing. If you look at the history of technology, it's very, very seldom that the plumbing ever makes the call. Always what makes the call is the ability to capture the user base. So, you know, an example would be, oh, I own PHP. Imagine you could tokenize PHP, and Facebook built itself on PHP. Does PHP now rule the world? It doesn't, because Facebook gets big enough, then they build their own version of PHP, then they build all of their own specialist technology and plumbing, which now they open source to the world. So like GraphQL for hitting, you know, mobile clients and websites more easily, their own use cases. And what you'll find is some finance service might start to win and scale big time. They'll build their own version of the blockchain. They'll do their own DeFi plumbing behind that. So what I'm a fan of is wallets as the hidden DeFi. That's not reliant on blockchain. They'll pick what blockchain works for them, but the wallets broker the interaction to customers. So the real DeFi play for me is like wallets.
Yeah, someone also wants us to comment on Tether. We spent unreasonable amount of time on Tether yesterday. Please check out yesterday's stream. All right, any other questions, guys? Let's see. What's a good monthly return on investment in trading? What's been yours?
Oh, okay. So like, this is one of those rules that you should never think about. Well, it's a mistake that beginners use when they think trading. They think, oh, if I can make X dollars per month, then that is good. The reality is trading is that you're waiting for the big wave to come in, like big wave surfing. You don't get it. It's once in a blue moon, it comes in and you make all your money. It could be retirement money in that one trade. The rest of the time you're just screwing around. So you can't time it on a monthly basis. You know, you might have a bot that, and the interesting thing with the bots, we've tested a few in our fund, and I tell you, our fund with human traders beats the bots by a long shot. The bots win and win and win consistently. You might think of that as like the payoff each month, but when the wave comes in, we know to go all in, and so we can outperform those bots by a matter of 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, and I'm with you. I've never been a big fan of trading bots. I've always preferred to trade on my own. Even if I do code my own strategies, I will literally just watch them like a hawk, and I would use that bot for, just to take a little bit of emotion out of it. The advantage you have with, let's say, a fund or a group of people, you guys kind of keep each other in check. Someone proposes something and someone else says, no, that could be dumb.
Yeah,
but if you are literally by yourself, you don't have anyone to check your logic. So a bot could be a little bit helpful, but you have to watch that bot like a hawk. You can't leave a bot running and go on a 3-month, tour of the Arctic.
Yeah. And actually, trading as a group can be problematic too, because it messes with your mojo, because everyone's using different techniques. So you really need a gel as a team. But I don't know. I think that generally I lose and lose and lose, and then I do a 5x in a month. So you give a bit back. It's a little bit like Ugly, where he says it's risk management.
Yep.
So I tend to lose small, and then when it hits, I make a decent amount, and I don't time that. I can't say I'm going to make money next month or next year. It's just when the market sets up. But when we broke out of 7,000, we knew that was our time. None of us were sleeping because we knew that was the point to get in.
Hey, I got a good macro question for you. What countries do you think will lead the Bitcoin adoption?
The small ones, the ones that don't print big fiat currencies. It's not going to be the US. It won't be like
Hong Kong, Singapore. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking like what the sort of the rise of the city-state type thing. These countries with a very small, nimble population and decision making.
Panama.
So possibly Iceland. You've got Singapore. You've got Malta. You've got Isle of Man. Is that one of those?
Yeah, but there's no humans there.
Right. Okay. So even I can even see.
I love making fun of
Estonia.
Isle of Man, which actually doesn't have any man or women on it.
Maybe
Just like
Estonia.
20.
But like I'm from New Zealand, and I'm like going, they're really lagging. But with 5 million people, you could make decisions pretty efficiently and change policy and attract the world there. So it'll be these countries that are nimble and don't have like a US dollar reserve currency to protect. I think America is quite innovative in the the digital age. They've got a lot of the top tech companies come from there, but they're now in the sort of problem because they've got to kill their golden egg, which is printing US dollars into the world, and they're going to stick to that, and therefore I think they'll lag in terms of crypto.
Okay, we got I see a tip question, Mo. We'll get to it. I just want to do one more first before I forget. I don't know why I'm doing it, but what do you think about Ethereum in this current upcycle? How high do you think it can go? And my own question, do you think Ethereum will ever make a new all-time high? Do you think it will ever break 1,600 in USD terms?
I don't follow Ethereum much, but I'll go out on a limb, and I think that it will. Oh, wait. Heck, that was overinflated because of the 2017 massive
right. And also
Ponzi.
Ethereum didn't have competition to build your shitcoins on. Now there is not only other shitcoins, there's also the liquid side chain. Tether already moved over to the liquid side chain. Ethereum's building Ethereum 2.0. You have Cardano, you have Tron, you have Tezos, you have EOS. Do you think Ethereum will ever go to a new all-time high? Ethereum is probably around $200-300 now. All-time high was 1,600.
So the thing with Ethereum is it is one of those oscillators that orbits Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin does another 10x, then you can expect a 10x in Ethereum because the market will move in orbit around each other.
But that's a $3,000.
So that's
Ethereum.
What is it now? Is it 180?
I have no clue where it's at now.
So yeah, at the top of the cycle, it may hit, or maybe it'll be a double. It might hit or might exceed the last all-time high.
Oh, it's only $200 now.
Yeah, so 10x, it's a $2,000 target. If Bitcoin does a 10x from here, then Ethereum will probably do a 10x. So yeah, it could do that, but it won't.
Whoa. But a 10x from here, we're talking $100,000 Bitcoin price.
Yeah, and so that's 2,000 Ethereum. Well,
right.
1,900. So, but bear in mind that Ethereum was probably overvalued by a factor of 3 to 5 in the last cycle, because you had this kind of lockup. You know, how many billions was raised through ERC20s? So you're raising an Ethereum through their smart contracts. So all this Ethereum is just piling in to these token treasuries. And what do they do with it? They don't convert it to cash. They don't convert it to Bitcoin. Some of them do a little bit. But while all these ICOs are going, they're holding it in Ethereum because it's going up in value. So no one was, basically Ethereum was being scooped up off the market and locked up in these token treasuries. And then these token treasuries from these ICOs, those guys decided they would be smart and then invest in ICOs themselves. So then some of that Ethereum went into the new ICOs. And then, so you got this whole very huge Ponzi dynamic that pushed it up way higher than it should ever have been. And you would have seen that if you'd tracked the NVT of Ethereum. It's basically, you know, NVT being like a price earnings ratio, the price was very, very high against its underlying activity as all of the stuff was being scooped up. And so, you know, if you were to say the last, a more organic price outside of those lockup dynamics was like 1/3, like maybe 500, 400 to 500 might have been realistic. In this cycle, it might go to 2,000. That's realistic, give or take, you know, 50%, because this is not a price target, but just over the macro cycle. I would be
so pissed if Ethereum goes to 2,000 because my target is 20 cents. We'll see what happens.
Just look at it in terms of percentage of Bitcoin's cap, and it'll oscillate around a certain amount, and then you can work it out within a realistic
Hey guys, send us questions. I don't see any questions at this point. We're pretty much, I was going to read the tipped question, but it's more like a comment. Jealous of your current situation, guys. It's 37 degrees in New York. Willy, you should teach Tone how to kite surf. Next time I come up here, I'll spend a little more time. I'll take lessons from the people down there. A lot of people are learning. It's a great spot.
Good conditions today.
Yeah, Willy's going to go back out soon. And, oh, we got another tip question. Thank you. Thank you, Jers Cohen. Thank you for your tip question. Let me read it here. How do you feel about, God, more shit coins? I gotta read this. Nano. It's a scam. All right, I'll let Willy answer as well.
Nano was
How do you feel about Nano?
Okay, so
let me finish it. Same goal and purpose as Bitcoin. No, that's insane. But zero fees, faster cryptocurrency, first layer scalable, no balance minimum, decentralized and environmentally friendly. All right, let me comment real quick. Nano does not have the same goal as Bitcoin. The goal of Bitcoin was to give the world politically neutral money. The goal of Nano was to make the creator of Nano a millionaire. So it did not have the same goal as Bitcoin. Every shitcoin since the creation of Bitcoin had only one goal, to make the creator rich and famous. Now, Nano cannot possibly be decentralized. That's not how decentralization works. I can recommend some very good articles. I am going to go to screen share, and I'm just going to pull them up. So what you want to do to the person that asked this question, that got me a little frustrated right now, clearly, the first thing you want to do is read, was it Unchained Capital? Unchained Capital? Right. So go read Unchained Capital blog. They recently had a few very good posts. I think their latest one from a few days ago. Where's their blog? I just started reading it recently, and it's really, really good. I recommend it. So you want to read this article, Bitcoin Obsoletes All Other Money. That's a really good one to read. I mean, they're all good, but I'm just looking for Bitcoin cannot be banned. I haven't read that one, actually. Where's the one I'm looking for? Bitcoin is not backed by nothing. Read this. Read this, and then also go and read Jimmy Song's Medium post about like why altcoins get delisted from other exchanges, and all, and his other readings about it. So, Willy, you want to add to the Nano
I'll say
nonsense?
that Nano was known as Roblox. This is what?
Oh, that's the one that rebranded.
2017ish, early 2016 sort of thing.
If you can rebrand your shitcoin, there's like, it's not only is it not decentralized, it's worse than the Venezuelan currency.
So Roblox was interesting in that they did a sort of a human-powered proof of work to distribute the coins. You had to like solve captures or something like that, and then you get a bit of airdrop coins for that amount of human work. And it was competing against IOTA. Now, I have a friend who had a sort of online Satoshi Dice sort of game, and when the fees got too expensive, he tried IOTA and it didn't work, and then he went to Nano and it did work. And so it's got that it kind of works.
A spam game working is not justification of your blockchain.
Bear in mind that the goal of this Nano is really to be able to do very low costs and fast transactions without being congested. So it's more of a scalability play. It's a utility type of network. It's not a store of value network. I always say that a utility network is a red herring if you're an investor, because all you're trying to do here is make a network that can do huge throughputs of transactions, and that doesn't actually provide much monetary value into it. It's a buy sell every time you do a transaction through that network. So and you can see that like there's many of these competitors that are trying to do scalable plays. I don't know. I think that the reason why it did gain in value was because of your standard whale type of games where you have people scooping up and locking up that token. I don't know. We should. Can you pull up Nano and CoinMarketCap? I just want to see what that chart looks like. See if it's actually gaining any kind of store of value properties. So that's basically one you want to invest in.
Let me plug in the laptop. Okay. Yeah. So it's
CoinMarketCap, good.
Well, and while that's pulling up, I'm also gonna give it a second. It'll take a little while to load. There's too many shit coins. It usually takes about a minute. I also want to pull up Jimmy Song's Medium, and you want to read this. Like, if you really believe in these, and then we have a couple of other questions about T0 and stuff, which are also nonsense. Jimmy Song's Twitter, Jimmy Song's Medium. Jimmy Song had a good one about altcoins. Let me see here. Why exchanges delist coins? You want to go and read that one. On altcoin valuation, you want to read that one. And there's another one about just why altcoins are insane. And he talks about a lot of the stuff. But very importantly, to understand the currency side of it, read this. Bitcoin obsoletes all other money. That's the one you want to read. This is really, really good work. A huge shout out to you guys out there. Parker Lewis, great job on these posts. It's excellent. All right, this should be loaded. You want to go to Nano?
Yeah, Nano.
Nano, you are number 53.
Okay, let's pull that up.
Wait, are you sure Nano is former Railblocks? I think that was Ryblocks. You sure that wasn't Chainlink?
No, Nano was Ryblocks. So let's go log chart. Okay, so this chart is only since 2017. It is not got enough. We have not seen enough of. It has to be 4 cycles, 1 full bull bear cycle if you make a decision on this. Because it's so young, it's definitely not something I'd still admit value in. I'd rather put it in something like Bitcoin. I'd rather put it in Litecoin, to be honest, and I don't hold any Litecoin because at least it's got some sort of 7 or 8 year history. So yeah, having said, Tone hates this shit. I like the stuff because they're trying new things technologically, but no way would I invest money into it. At that point, you better be a good trader. I wouldn't hold the stuff. You know, it's been going downhill since 2018, and it's still going downhill, even though we're in a bull market with Bitcoin. Litecoin's pumping because it orbits Bitcoin. Ethereum's pumping because it orbits Bitcoin. Right now, it's showing me that it's likely to be a degenerate coin.
Speaking of degenerate coins, 2 sentence on the Hex scam by Richard Hart. It's apparently up 5x, but it was worth 1 Satoshi, so there's really nowhere further for it to fall.
Say again?
Any comments on Richard Hart's Hex scam? People are happy that it's up 5x, but it was down to 1 Satoshi per coin, so there's really not much further it could fall from that point.
Yeah, isn't it like...
So going up from 1 Satoshi to 5 Satoshis isn't...
you know, Richard's been really pretty good at defending himself against attacks because he doesn't give a shit and he carries on in his game plan. And I noticed that he did an interview with Brad Mills. I think it was 4 hours, and he's like the friendly Canadian.
Yeah.
And I think he defended Bitcoin best because you saw Richard drop his guard down, and Brad knows shitcoins like no one else. So
I'm sure he does.
Yeah, so he out shitcoined Richard. So that was an interesting interview.
I haven't seen that one, but you guys go ahead and check it out. Okay, so how high do you think Bitcoin dominance will rise or fall in this next up cycle? And if you think it'll rise, how high do you think it'll rise?
I don't think it'll rise more than 90%.
What do you mean? More than well, right now Bitcoin dominance is at 70-ish, just below 70.
Yeah, if you look at long
it's actually
term,
been dropping over the last month or so. I have a chart up here somewhere. No, I have the trading view. I have a trading view version.
Oh, okay.
It's at 65 on this one, yeah.
I was one of the first to use this for trading. People thought you can't do a TA on well, yeah, you do it.
I have it.
Oh, there it is. There
no,
it
it's
is.
because I have it here. It's one of these things.
People say you can't do TA on a dominance chart. Now everyone's doing TA on a dominance chart. TA kind of works on just about any kind of chart.
I agree.
I bet you it works on the zombie outbreak sort of incidences.
Where the fuck is my dominance chart? It's one of these. Just can't find it.
Just use the other one.
Is that it? No, that's hash rate. That's dominance. There it is.
Okay. All right. So is that all of it?
Oh, that's when it started to crash.
I want to see all of it. How do you zoom out of
Well,
this?
before it was just 90. It was just stuck at 90 forever. It'll just go back forever that way.
I don't know. Where's CoinMarketCap? I like this one. That actually shows you a trend there. That's a channel going down there. It's kind of. I think it'll go higher. I think it wants to get back up into
90.
Just looking at this chart.
Yeah.
What's that about there?
90.
That's 85. I don't think it'll go above 90, but I think that it might want to go a bit higher into the 80s. 90, I don't think would go higher than that.
Oh wait, what happened to my crap? Hold on, I lost the
live
chat. Yeah, here we go. Oh, I'm on top live chat. I should be on full live chat, so I don't know how to set that live chat. Here we go. Sorry guys, I was on. Okay, we got another tip question. What do you make of the Chinese stock market futures nearly 9% drop this morning? Sorry guys, it's hard for us to see the monitor. I'm not gonna do the. I'll take a look at Chinese stocks later, but I'm sure it has to do with the virus and stuff. So don't be surprised on that front. Oh, there was a. Okay, here's another question. Do you think retail companies such as Overstock issuing their own T0 currency will gain in popularity? That is insane. Again, please read those blogs I pointed out before. A company issuing their own money is, I couldn't agree with Nouriel Rubini more. The companies that are issuing their own currency is a move to go back to barter. They basically want to throw away 1,000 years of monetary history, and they want to go back to the barter system. If everyone has their own currency, there's no, common currency. Go please read Unchained Capital. That explains this really, really well as well. Willie?
I don't know enough about it. Is it just like like
It's another
Amazon
shitcoin.
credits or whatever. Credits in
No, but it's not like Amazon credits. Amazon credits is pegged to the dollar.
Amazon gift cards. It's floated.
Of
Yeah,
course.
I don't think you can do that. I think that's a violation of. Is this a security token?
Who the hell knows? It's the T0 has pivoted so many times, I lost track.
Yeah, it's not my field. I can't comment.
Tony plans to visit Chicago. Definitely not now. It's freezing there. I'd rather be here. Oh, people are wondering where we are. We are in Boracay, Philippines. Will the coronavirus quarantine worldwide lead to more crypto purchases as people are afraid to leave their houses for traditional banking? Oh, that's actually not a bad thing, you know.
You know, all the HSBC branches in Hong Kong closed down just last week.
Hey, this definitely favors Bitcoin, guys.
Yeah, I mean, is a outbreak sort of like a wartime event? I mean, I can understand gold and Bitcoin going up in war times because people want to escape countries with their wealth. You put in the gold and you carry it across the border. Probably doesn't have the same with like it probably doesn't have the same effect in crypto, but I think we'll have more volume trading exchanges because there's a lot of Chinese at home now.
Willy, what software do you use for your charts?
I use TradingView. Oh, you mean like my
your personal charts?
Oh, I just use PHP.
Okay.
No database. Everything's hand coded. I write the maths library myself, but that's because I like coding the maths so I can understand the economics. So partly these charts are my own education into analyzing markets.
What advice, if any, do you have for when? Oh shit! The chat just like jumped. I don't know. I started reading the question. It was something to do with what advice do you have for those that are taking like scaling out, taking some of the profits off the Bitcoin bull run?
Depends on your age and a lot of other things.
Let me see what else we got.
Take money off the table when grandma wants to buy in.
Do you see a potential for a dip under 7,000 before 11,000?
I think there's potential for a dip. We've got a CME gap at 8,500. Usually they have a 95% chance of filling on a 4-hour chart, and this is on a 4-hour chart. So if we don't fill that gap, it'll be the 1 in 20 outlier. So I could see a 8,500 dip. 7,000 is awful low. I'm not sure if we'll get to 7,000. That would be, I don't know. Does Plus Token have enough power to dump that? I probably don't think so. It was a pretty organic move up to 8,500. So that seems like a nice dip if we get one.
People are asking specific questions about when LVL will be open in certain U.S. states. I don't think Willy knows the answer to that.
What, LVL?
But,
what was that?
LVL, like in Florida. Like I don't think you would know.
They're going to be open to just about all the states, like high 40s, 40 out of the
40 something states,
48 or something. I'm not sure if we're going to do New York because of the cost of it. But yeah, if it's not on there, I would have thought it's supported. But we're going to be rolling out banking to pretty much the entire USA.
Yeah, we're gonna find out for you guys soon. I'm gonna try and interview the LVL CEO on this channel as well.
Yeah, we could do that in a couple of days. Eh?
Yeah, we're gonna meet up with them in a couple of days. Willy and I are gonna be traveling together for a little while.
Should we do it over dinner while we're having dinner?
I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see how we feel. Oh, guys, tomorrow morning I'm interviewing the CEO of Embly debit cards. 10 a.m. Filipino time, so I think that's 9 p.m. US. Let me see if there's any other good questions. Guys, stop asking about shitcoins, please. They want to know about Decred now.
Shitcoins are like crack cocaine, eh?
It is.
It's the lure of making a quick buck quick.
You have no idea how many people have told me they're like literally have a peace of mind when they've become Bitcoin. And I'm starting to hate the term Bitcoin maximalist. I'm not going to use it anymore. I'm going to start calling myself shitcoin minimalist. So when people become shitcoin minimalists, they have just a peace of mind, and they sleep so well at night after that.
What was the question on Decred? Was it worth it?
Why Decred, Willy?
Why Decred? I just say it's good hedge if Bitcoin ever fails. Very unlikely Bitcoin fails, but
you're insane, Willy. I'm sorry. If Bitcoin fails, it all fails.
No, I disagree.
You and I will disagree on that one forever. The good thing is Bitcoin is not going to fail, so you'll never win this argument.
If Bitcoin fails, you think that digital currency, internet native, will never take off, even though someone figured out how to do it? See, Bitcoin as its current state, without a hard fork, will fail when quantum computing comes. So that's another juncture in the road.
We're going to debate that as well. Okay, here we go. Follow-up question for Willy on the DeFi. Have you looked? Oh God, their MakerDAO is a scam. Stop looking at it.
Well, MakerDAO's plumbing. It's creating. It's interesting in that it's making a stable coin without any sort of real world, like backing.
Backing, yeah, you can't do that. Like the guys behind MakerDAO have no clue what they're doing.
And it's remarkable that it didn't break when Ethereum crashed from its 1500 or whatever it was down to, what did it go down to? 75?
I don't pay attention to that.
It crashed massively, and it survived that. So I give it bonus points. It's a net positive for the apps on Ethereum that need a US based like currency, but it's not very liquid. You can't really do much with the liquidity that's on DAI.
All right, here's another question, Willy, for you. Reason for not holding Litecoin. Willy doesn't actually hold Litecoin, he only trades Litecoin, but I'll let him answer in full.
Well, my view on shitcoins is they're great to trade because they also have very strong signals that I can read on the blockchain. So in some ways they're cleaner. It doesn't have a freaking layer 2. You don't have Zapo taking shit off the chain. You don't have all of these massive exchanges holding vast quantities of Bitcoin, which is reducing my on-chain signals. So when I look at signals on chain for BSV, BCH, Litecoin, Ethereum, I get signals. So I like trading this, but I don't hold the underlying because the futures markets are 10 times more liquid, at least 10 times, maybe 20 times more liquid. So like if I'm going to go long $1,000 and it's maybe I can only buy $50,000 of Litecoin on Binance without moving the price much. I can buy $1 million on a futures exchange. So if you want to enter and exit scalps quickly, it's much better. Like you would never be able to make that trade on a spot exchange. And obviously, if you're taking it off the exchange, putting in your wallet, you can't get liquidated, but you're basically trading a very long swing. And there might be use in that, but you can only trade one side, which is going long at 1x leverage. And the thing is, you also want to trade the short on that, and you can't do that with holding or not holding the underlying. So it's sort of, you're crippling the liquidity and you're crippling the direction you can trade with these vehicles, which are best used for trading.
All right, we got like these really strange questions, like they're not answerable. Willy can give it a try. Can you elaborate more on your FTX move trades?
I just recommended them when they were undervalued, but they're probably not so undervalued anymore. And they've gone up 50%. They weren't very liquid. They're not very liquid. That's my only down. So, if you're going to put a few $1,000s in, it's okay. But if you were managing, a multi-million-dollar fund, then it's not really so great.
How will I know when to sell the next bull market?
You buy the bull, you sell the bear. When the price goes down, it keeps going down.
So people are continuing to be very upset that I hate shitcoins, and they're like, why do you continue to, I missed the question already. Why do you refuse to acknowledge that new tech can take market share from Bitcoin? Because there is no new tech. They're lying to you.
I refuse to acknowledge that new tech will take market share of Bitcoin. If you believe that, you don't understand monetary instruments. Well, let's say a company called Apple invents the smartphone. It takes over the world. It sells 3 billion units worldwide, and it's the gateway for all mobile software and servers sold into it. Do you think that Apple will exceed 90 trillion market cap? It kind of touched on the trillion, but that's only 1% of the value of all money in existence. That is the analogy of winning tech, right? That you use.
Guys, Bitcoin is not competing with Ethereum. It's not competing with Litecoin. Bitcoin is not competing with anything that came after Bitcoin pretending to be Bitcoin. All that other shit is competing for Bitcoins. Apple is competing against Google for US dollars. Ethereum is competing against EOS for Bitcoin. That's the competition. Everybody is going to be competing for Bitcoin. They're not competing against Bitcoin. I mean, this is just like traders having fun while there's still unregulated trading exists. Eventually, that will also end.
Do you know, like, tell me why Google, which is pervasive in everyday life, is not valued more than gold, which is a medieval age store of value. Gold hasn't, you know, improved its internal tech since I've ever known it. These are two different things, and the highest valued assets in the world are monetary store of values. When you talk about better tech, you're talking about groundbreaking stuff that we can do more with, but that does not build value into the token as much as something like a digital gold. Utility's a red herring. I keep saying it. It's not, you know, it's not like it's of no value to the world. It's just that you wouldn't store value in this stuff because it's optimized for different things.
Someone says, Tone, if you go back to trading, will you still continue the Bitcoin lore review? I think the Bitcoin lore review would be, see, when I go back to trading, I won't be traveling like this. So I should be able to, you know, do a consistent news show, maybe 2 times a week at a specific time, at a specific day. I should certainly be able to do the lore review once a week or once every 2 weeks. It should be more standard. As far as me speaking publicly at conferences, that's gonna end. As far as me doing daily video updates, that might also end because I'm gonna want to concentrate on trading. There's a reason why Willy Woo doesn't have his own YouTube channel. You know, talking to you guys every day, and I'm lucky to get him on when I can. So I kind of tend to be following him around the world these days. All right, Willy, you want to go on the water, don't you?
I was just checking out the conditions. It's pretty good today.
Oh, God. Why do you guys keep asking about shitcoins? Now they're asking about Mimble-Wimble. Nobody cares. It's useless.
Grin.
Grin and Bean or Beam, I don't even know. They're nonsense. Stop. Trade them if you want. I mean, guys, do you know how many penny stocks there are? Do you know how many pink sheet penny stocks that are worth less than 1 penny that pump every day for 100x?
The question was a technological one. What do I think of the protocol, not the coin? I can't comment. I don't know it enough. Yeah. You want to bring on a privacy guy? I could recommend one.
I think we're good. I think we're good. Jesus Christ, I had no idea so many shitcoiners watch my channel.
It's alt season right now.
All right, I think we're ready to call it a day. People are saying time to short the S&P. I'll take a look at the S&P. I haven't had a chance to. I've been like kind of hanging out here. Hey guys, I think we're getting ready to. Oh, sorry. There you go.
Not too bad.
Then we're getting ready to wrap this up. I'm going to do screen share one last time. We'll glance at the price of Bitcoin one last time real quick and see where it's been in the last 20 minutes. Prior to that, hey, please, if you want to support this YouTube channel, please check out the affiliate codes. Interview tomorrow morning with Emily. That's coming up. Planning, well, tomorrow morning in the Philippines, tomorrow evening in the US. And Willy, of course, will be coming to Unconfiscatable, and Willy will also be coming to the Financial Summit, Dominican Republic and Bali, 19 to 25.
See you guys. Sorry, didn't
All
mean to
right.
be kicked.
Willy is
I'm going on the water.
Willy is going in the water, and I'm gonna cut this stream. Thank you so much for watching. Oh wait, crap! I promised one last glance at Bitcoin, but we are saying goodbye to Willy. Bitcoin didn't move during our stream. It's consolidating. Look, the longer it consolidates, the higher the probability we get another push higher. I thought that we can get a pullback and then a push higher. Looks like the pullback has turned into a consolidation. So people are also asking about the Bitcoin monthly chart. The Bitcoin monthly chart is turning bullish based on sequential. It's a 2 going above a green 1. I hate the fact that we didn't make it to a 9. We didn't make it to the moving average to give you a nice buying opportunity. I don't like the fact that we never made it to a 9 sequential for a nice buying opportunity, but it is a green 2 going above a green 1 monthly, which is also a buying opportunity. It's just not as good. This is the weekly chart. The weekly chart remains pretty bullish on a 5 leading into a 9. So potentially 4 to 5 more weeks of upside. So things are looking bullish still. This is still consolidation. Yes, that is a shadow at the top, and that is generally a bearish sign, but we still have a lot of time to go in this candle. The candle just started. We got to see where this candle ends. You can't assume that the top shadow will drop the price from this point. All right, guys, that's pretty much it for me. And I'm going to wrap it up. Happy the computer did not overheat. Thank you for your questions. This has been a nice Q&A session. I'm going to give you one more look. Maybe I'll move the camera around a little bit before I cut the stream. If you are a kite surfer or want to learn kite surfing, this is where you want to be. This is the backside of the island of Boracay. It's only about a 10-minute walk to the other side of Boracay. So this is certainly not the place you want to be at if there is a tsunami warning coming in, because you can literally walk from one side of the island to another in about 15 minutes. So here's the other side, has a lot more bars, a lot more hotels, and a lot more tourists. But Chinese New Year is over, so a lot of them have left. But this is what people do here all day. They just kite surf. I'm going to be coming back here probably sometime next year. Well, maybe not next year, because next year I plan not to travel but trade. But I will be coming back here eventually. Never too late to learn how to kite surf. Oh, I think I took my mic off before I started talking. Anyway, guys, hope you've enjoyed this stream, and see you all on the next one tomorrow morning. Interview with Emily. I'll see you there. Bye, guys.